right, we should be live. What is up, everybody? Happy Wednesday. How y'all doing? Happy Wednesday after Labor Day. Hope most of you had a good 3-day weekend, or 4 days if you decided to take the Friday off as well. Alright, let's see. Ooh, I gotta move my chats around. Give me a second. We got first in the house today was Craig Lilly over on the main stream. Not the main stream, the landscape stream. And over on the other side, we had Coalition Gaming Chris from the short stream. So I did play around with the layout. Now, if you guys minimize the screen, like let's go over to the browser side of things, right? Now, whether or not you're maximized or minimized, not minimized, but like showing the chat and stuff on the YouTube short side of things, stuff should not be cut off, because it was cutting off the top and the bottom whenever you weren't maximized on the screen. So yeah, we should be good on that side of things. But all right, let's see. We got, yeah, I gotta put the chat down here. So let me go through the names of who's all here real quick. Yeah, we got Chris on both chats. We got Stang 2007, what's up? We got Kale 130, who might be watching the vertical stream. We got Shauner in the house who's doing a build while watching the stream. What up, Shauner? What up, Candelario Garcia? What up, Spicy Bruce? We got MGLR, aka Logan, in the house. We got Angel of Death, Firestorm. What's up, everybody? Pandasap, Tavian, Sharf, Mega Punch, Luke M. Silver. We got Vex, Scooter U. We got Jan, Goza, RV, Big Tone. And then over on the vertical stream, we got Acturo, Sticky. We got Arnold, Albert, Angelo. Let's see. We got Mod Jason Whitmer, who is in Japan right now. Hazard Me. Thanks for the kind words, by the way. I am doing better. I was able to go to PAX, so that was good. PAX West 2024 was this past weekend, so I was there. I had a pass that was good for 4 days, but I had to take a break Sunday because my foot was not liking all the walking I was doing. But then I was able to go on Monday. And I have some pictures from that to show. What up, The Geese is Gaming, Surreal Phenom, Zub0, D4K. What up, Rob Fixit? And yes, for anybody wondering, this is a live stream. I do get people coming in here asking, is this live or is this like, you know, a pre-recorded video? I think it's mostly the people on the vertical stream when they find it through the shorts, which I did release a YouTube shorts today. So maybe we'll get more people in today because they'll see that I am live as they find my short. But yeah, this is a live stream. And if you're new around here, we talk PC tech for the most part, but we talk about other nerdy topics as well, like gaming, sometimes mobile tech, and then just random things like food. Sometimes I build stuff, unbox stuff on camera, etc. So yeah. All right, chat's going way faster today in the beginning than I was expecting. So let me see. Oh, you just finished the build, says Shauner. Wait, you posted it in the Discord? You just finished it? Testing it now, grabbing a monitor in an hour. Grabbing a monitor in an hour, like a used one? Or are you going to the store to grab the monitor? A foot checkup. Am I set up to do a foot checkup right now? I can show you guys with my cool slippers that I wore to PAX. This is an update on the feet because for some reason people are obsessed with the feet. Cause y'all are kinky like that. But all right, let me get the cam ready. This should work. Oh, that's totally not what that should be doing. Okay, let me move that up above the neon divider. Come on. There we go. That should be better. All right. So my foot is looking still two-toned. But I am able to stand on it. So I'm able to stand. And when I'm walking, I'm mostly putting my weight on my heel. I'm not putting as much weight on the ball of my foot. And then again, I'm wearing these orthotics with these super comfy house slippers because they're very comfy. But yeah, I have these special orthotics that help with the arch support and cushioning. So yeah, I never wore these things before, but I kind of need to now. I don't know if I will have to wear these for the rest of my life. Hopefully not, because they're kind of annoying to put into some shoes. So yeah, that's the update. And then when I was at PAX, the reason I had to take a day off also was because the knee walker that I was using, it was kind of messing up my knee. So I will show you that while we're just chilling and hanging out. Okay, so I was at PAX this past weekend. I don't believe anyone in stream was there. Here was a picture that I sent to Shauner for his Wizard 101 love. But I was at PAX, and at PAX, like here's a photo. I was still doing more of the YouTube shorts, like you know, PC gaming community random gamers surveys. So I was surveying a bunch of people. So here's one person I surveyed. And here's some photos from lunchtime. Some people you might recognize from the LAN Party Stories crew. That's Tara and Jan. And then some more pictures. This is the Final Fantasy XIV. They kind of recently had a new expansion. And they had a thing where 8 attendees fought a raid boss. And we unfortunately failed. Because Final Fantasy XIV, even if you're an MMO veteran, to go in and fight a raid boss, it's still hard. And we had 5 noobs and 3 veteran players on our team, and we could not get it done. I wanted to successfully complete this because if we did complete it, we would have gotten a really nice looking Final Fantasy tote bag, which I always need for groceries. But yeah, so there was this, and then another picture. I forgot what game this was, but there were some cosplayers at the booth. There's us again. I saw Disguised Toast and got a picture with him real quick, if you guys know who he is. Sidion was also there, if you guys follow streamers. And my wife wanted to take a picture with her so that we can get a free notebook. And then there's some more pictures from the gaming. Yeah, so there, you can see my knee walker right there. Whoops, what is going on with the zoom here? Yeah, so you can see that I had my knee walker the first day on, and I'll show you what happened after. And here's some more pictures of us. If you guys play Baldur's Gate, you might recognize. I don't play Baldur's Gate, so I don't know who these characters are, but a lot of my friends play Baldur's Gate, and I was just, you know, taking pictures with them regardless. Oh, there's me and my knee walker again. So yeah, first day I had that thing, and it messed up my knee because I had never used my walker to walk that long of a distance or that many steps. And by the end of it, not only was my quad killing me, but let me see if I can show this. Jason's watching from the balcony of his Mount Fuji Ryokan. Let's see. Thanks for the free Amazon 30 days. Oh, yeah, for sure. That's in the description if anyone is interested in signing up for Amazon Prime. It helps me out. It doesn't cost any more to you otherwise. And, yeah. What's going to happen when the foot is healed, lol? When the foot is healed, I can go back to doing my regular life. I've not been able to, like, do any workouts, like, lower body, basically, because of it. I can't tiptoe. Like, I think that's like the biggest defining factor for me. When I can tiptoe, or like put weight only on the ball of my feet, on my left foot, I will consider it healed. But right now, I can't tiptoe on that foot because it's that weak right now. Okay, okay, so I'm gonna show you something that's like a scab of what's going on with my knee right now. So I'm giving you a warning right now. Close your eyes if you don't like to see, like, you know, scabby kind of stuff like blood, etc. And I'll tell you when you can open up your eyes. So I'm going to show the image in 5 seconds. So look away or close your eyes. Keep your ears open though so you can hear when the spoiler's over. But I'm going to show what my knee looks like in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, so this is what happened to my knee after using my knee walker for 1 day at PAX. I developed 3 blisters. This was the biggest one. I didn't even know about this until the end of the day. But you can see there's 2 blisters that were not popped. And there's this one, and then this was just like from the abrasiveness of that knee pad, and I was wearing long pants. So I did so much walking, which I've never had this happen before. Like, I used my knee walker, I used it with long pants. But because PAX, you're basically on your feet walking around the entire day. I forgot how many steps we took. It was somewhere in the 20,000 plus on that 1 day. So because I was using that, I started feeling a pain in my knee, but I did not realize that, or not a pain, but like kind of like an irritation. But I thought it was just like, oh, okay, yeah, my knee, you know, something's rubbing on my knee. But it wasn't until we got in the car and after we got home, I looked at and I got off of the thing. There was like, the blister pus had like gotten onto my pants and made like a big mark on it. And then I took off my pants and then this is what I saw. So yeah, that's what happened. You guys can look back now. I'm taking it off the screen. But yeah, that's what happened to my knee. So now I can't even use the walker anymore because putting pressure on that, you know, on that scab and the blisters hurts a lot. So I can't use the walker, but good thing I'm able to go on my feet again. So yeah. Dang, should've just cosplayed Professor X. Yeah, with Melissa, she had suggested multiple times, like, do you just need like a wheelchair? But I didn't want to be in a wheelchair because it's very big and bulky and it's like way less mobile than like a knee walker or crutches would have been. So yeah, I definitely was not trying to get on like a motorized scooter or like a wheelchair or anything like that. So Nino says, newbie here, what happened? Basically my foot has been giving me issues for about 2.5 months now. So I can't walk on it normally. So I have to use a special like crutch knee walker. And I was using it so much this past weekend that it made my knees blister up. And one of the big blisters popped. That's basically what happened. What up? We do have the gang here. We got Gerard in the house. We got Lee in the house. What up? What up, AJ? How you doing? Pico Up says, you need to get a refund on the knee walker. It's not the knee walker's fault. It's my own fault for overusing it. I don't think people who make crutches like that, they like imagine you using it for like 20,000 steps a day. I wouldn't blame the knee walker. It was partially I don't know if I wore shorts if it would have been as bad, but yeah. D4K says, I would have thought Baldur's Gate 3 would have been your type of game. No, so the thing about Baldur's Gate for me is that it's not real-time action combat. It's kind of like turn-based. So, and I don't play D&D. I have like many friends who play D&D and stuff like that. So 1, I don't play D&D. And 2, I mean, I used to play turn-based like JRPGs back in the day. You know, the Final Fantasies, Chrono Triggers. What is it? Not the Mana series. Those are pretty real time. But like Golden Sun, remember that on Game Boy Advance? So I used to play a lot of turn-based JRPGs. But after, you know, I feel like aside from that, once a bunch of games came out that were more real-time action combat, it was hard for me to go back to turn-based. So, I mean, I hear really great things about Baldur's Gate. I've seen my friends play it and everything, but yeah, I think turn-based combat, that style of gameplay, it is very like divisive in terms of the player base that likes it and don't like it. But yeah, I don't know, maybe I'll try it. I don't think it's gone on sale recently, has it? Let me see what the pricing is. Baldur's Gate Steam. Like, how much is this enhanced edition. Baldur's Gate 3, not the normal one. It looks like the... Which Baldur's Gate is this? This is the enhanced edition 2013, over 10 years old, and this is still $20. But Baldur's Gate 3, I think it's still full price. I'm pretty sure it... I don't know how much it goes on sale for, but... Like, I don't want to just pay $60 for a game that I don't know if I'm going to like or not. And just from watching the gameplay of, like, my friends playing it and stuff like that, I don't get, like... It doesn't make me want to play it compared to when they play other games. Like, I've watched people play Black Myth Wukong, and I actually want to pick that up. But I'm trying to get that on, like, a code sale or something like that. Those 2 blisters makes it look like you're infected by the green flu. Hopefully I don't get any infection from this. I'm treating it at home, just like as you normally would. You know, using like antibiotic cream and bandaging it, so. Yeah. So I have been keeping it under a band-aid with some, we have a first aid kit, so I put some ointment on it and then keeping it. Yeah. For sure. Just get a new body. Yeah, I know, right? This one is broken and out of warranty. What time is it over there, by the way, Jason? I could look it up, but I'd rather have the interaction by asking you. Racing sims are the best turn-based game. What are you, a dad now, Pika-Wubs? That is totally a dad joke. You could always refund it on Steam, though, if you don't like it. You have 2 hours. I mean, in 2 hours, how far can you really get in Baldur's Gate? I guess you could get an idea of the gameplay within that 2 hours, but it's a very narrative and story-based, you know, like cutscene-driven game, right? Wouldn't most of the time in that first 2 hours be spent, like, with the intro and then just, like, you know, I feel like the first 2 hours would be less gameplay and more story building and cutscenes, but I have not seen anyone start it from the beginning. But yeah. Do I love open world games? Open world games are my favorite types of games. I think a lot... I've heard the argument that, like, open world games ruined the gaming industry or something like that. And I think people's argument was that... especially, like, I think the Assassin's Creed franchise with Odyssey and Valhalla... the gameplay loop that comes with open world games where you kind of do the most repetitive things over and over again. I forget what other games follow similar gameplay loop, but if you look at like Far Cry, what other open world games? But yeah, so open world games, the first open world game I played that I can remember, I think was Grand Theft. I wouldn't really count Grand Theft Auto 2. We're talking let's talk 3D open world, right? Because technically, I guess Final Fantasy like 7 was 3D open world. As in, open world lets you do whatever and go explore the world without like a set path. You know, traditionally loading screens to the next thing. Like you can just do whatever you want and not follow the storyline. So I guess that's either Final Fantasy 7 or if we're counting more modern-ish games like Grand Theft Auto 3. But yeah. After I played Grand Theft Auto 3, I think that ruined me for a lot of games because I want the freedom and a large open world to do whatever I want. I like to just dick around in games sometimes. Like, I don't always want to just follow the story and do what I'm supposed to do. Sometimes I just want to grab a car and run over people. Sometimes I just want to punch a pedestrian in the face, start, like, you know, the stars up and have as many cops follow me and see how long I can survive. Sometimes I just want to go to the helipad and then fly over the city and jump out and parachute to some random place, rob a biker, ride down the mountain. I don't know. Like, open world games, to me, I know not every game should be open world, but I find enjoyment, I think, the most out of open world games. And it doesn't help also that World of Warcraft, one of the most, you know, the games that I've sunk the most hours into in my entire life, is also open world, even though that's an MMORPG, but... yeah, so to answer this question, I love open world games. And it has ruined me for games when they aren't open world and they are very, like, you're on a very set track, like, fixed track from one end to the next. But yeah. Just Cause 3 is my favorite open world game. I don't have Just Cause 3, I don't believe, but I bought the Just Cause 2, I believe, as part of like a bundle and stuff like that. But I've never really sunk a lot of time into it. I just like dicked around a little bit. If you were filthy rich, how would you spend the next 5 years? Oh, probably a lot of traveling. Just visiting the world. I've spent enough time like in Washington State and in my home, you know, just due to, I guess, responsibilities that the typical adult has, you know, whether it be work or mostly it's just work, right? But yeah, if I was filthy rich, I would definitely try to travel as much as I can because I'm only getting older, right? I'm not super old by any means, but as you've seen, more recently, I've been having health issues, mostly just my foot, but stuff like that is probably going to be more common as I get older. So I would want to do things like travel and visit countries that you know, I haven't been to yet, which that's a lot of countries and continents of the world I haven't been to yet. And yeah, just travel, me and my wife, maybe do some trips with friends, pay for my friends' trips. Because I think at the end of the day, time and obviously money are the things that restrict what we're able to do for the most part. But if you have money, then time also kind of comes with it because we spend a lot of our time, if you're an adult, that is. I guess if you're a kid or like younger, you're still in school, right? So a lot of our time is spent trying to make a living and surviving. So money takes care of the time aspect of it, you know, freeing up all the time that you would have spent at work, 40 plus hours a week, and then the cost of travel and lodging and food and stuff. So yeah, travel as much as I can, and then get back to doing whatever the heck. Probably would never return to a normal 9-to-5 desk job, but I would still content create. Like if I was rich, definitely would never return to working for somebody at a 9-to-5 like office job, but would still do like these streams. I would still make videos for YouTube because, you know, that's what I enjoy, like genuinely. Don't particularly enjoy going to the office, waking up at a certain time with an alarm clock, etc. So yeah. Anyone play Deadlock? I'm loving it. I have not played Deadlock. I have the invite. Ooh, let's take a look at that. We were talking about Deadlock not too long ago. And we're just small talking, even though we're almost small talking 30 minutes in the stream. Alright, before we get to that though, let me change this so I don't accidentally show the spoiler image and disgust people. So if you guys didn't see the title of the stream because you're awesome and you just clicked on it because you saw, you know, my face or my name, or the channel name. What I want to do today is, we haven't done this for, I think, a couple of months now, but what I want to do is look in your guys' local area and just deal hunt. So I've asked people to, in the stream submissions channel of the Discord server, stream submissions is right here on the side, post your zip if you're okay with sharing it, because I know some people are like weird about their privacy. Not weird, but they're very particular about their privacy, and they don't want to like expose their location. But I think a zip code is broad enough that like if you give me your zip code, I'm not going to be able to pinpoint where your house is, right? Giving your city or zip code is like fine. But yeah, so I was asking people like what component you're looking for, what's your price range, and then zip code so that I could actually look at listings and maybe help you find something. It's not guaranteed we'll find you know, stuff for everybody because people's markets are all different, but I think it's just fun just to, as a group, go deal browsing together. So that's what I asked people to do, and we're actually gonna get started on that soon. But I just wanted to look at the Deadlock player count because we brought this up a week or two ago, just to see what was going on with that game. And let's take a look. We have, I've not tried it yet though. I have the invite. I heard it is very difficult though. Anyone who has played it, can you chime in whether or not it is a difficult game to play or not? But yeah, the all-time peak, so it's up to 200,000. Oh yeah, and Concord got shut down. Wait, is our Flet in the house with some tech news of the week? What up, John? Wife and I are doing the Great Loop in 4 years. Bet. What is the Great Loop? I've not heard of what the Great Loop is. Trying to make sure you don't give yourself lifestyle inflation creep when you get a raise can be tough. Yeah. I'm trying to think of what do people usually lifestyle creep up into. I mean, a house could be one. I like cars. I'm not a car guy, so I don't think I would ever lifestyle. The only thing I would do is get a new car just so that, you know, maintenance and stuff. And like the potential of it dying on me wouldn't be like something I would have to be concerned about. But even if I was a millionaire, I would probably drive like at max, I don't know, what the equivalent of a new Corolla. I don't know how much those cost. Probably like 30 something thousand, no more than 40, right? But yeah, I would drive a Corolla. Maybe when Toyota makes an EV, one that's like 40-ish thousand. Yeah, even if I had $5 million, I'm not driving any super cars, exotic cars, any sports cars even. Like, we're sticking like 40,000 or below brand new on a car, even if we were a millionaire over here. So, but yeah, deadlock 24-hour peak was 133 and 171. Not tried that. Definitely need to. How many miles does my car have? 150,000-ish? 150, I think. I got it at like under 50,000, like around 47,000 miles. So I have personally put 100,000 on my car, and it's still going pretty strong. It's super difficult, deadlock, if you're not used to MOBAs, but balancing feels really good. So if you're not used to MOBAs, oof. See, that's the thing for me. I'm not particularly good at MOBAs, like League and stuff, and Dota. I'm probably the equivalent of a bronze tier player. And then I'm also not good at Valorant, Counter-Strike, etc. Which, wait, is deadlock? Is there... How close is it to like a shooter? I know it has lanes and stuff like a MOBA, but do most characters have like just like a target reticle and they're shooting like that? Or is there like a bunch of different types of ways that's not based on like Twitch shooting? But yeah. I have a 2018 Toyota Corolla with 306,000 miles. Not getting another car ever. 306,000 miles in 8 years? That's a lot of driving. What? I think the standard used to be, at least when they did like car warranties, like 10,100 mile, 10 year, 100,000 mile warranty, right? So they assumed you drive 10,000 miles a year. In just, oh no, I'm bad at math. It's 2024. You have 6 years. You've been driving on average 50, or that car has seen an average of 50,000 miles a year. That lacks lifters. It's because you drive lift. It's more Overwatch. It's like Overwatch, which does have... It's not like pinpoint shooting, I guess, like what Valorant and CSGO would be, but you still kind of have to like aim and stuff. Okay. That's an insane amount of mileage. I got my car in November 2021, and I have like 24,000. So 3 years, yeah. So you've been putting like 8,000 miles. But it depends if you commute for work versus remote working, right? That's like one of the huge things about it. So, but lax lifter, foot's doing better. I'm able to walk and put weight on it. It's still not 100%. Until I can do tiptoes or like half raises and stuff on one foot with it, then I'm not going to consider it healed yet. But I can do like walk to the grocery store and stuff. And I walked PAX, though I was in pain the day after, which is why I had to take a break from PAX on Sunday. Oh yeah, and you share your car, but you both work from home. So unless you're doing like small trips to the grocery store or whatever, yeah, you're not putting a ton of miles in the car. Toyota really the GOAT. They are the GOAT, except for in the EV market, because their EV selection Sucks. They have one car, and then people were saying that was just to like have it on, or for like what's it called? For like regulations or whatever, right? Like every company at least having or attempting to do one, or going full electric at least. Water cooled foot. I don't know about that. EVs suck. Period. That is a bold statement. Yeah. So EVs are not ready for only car yet. So even if we got a full EV, not a hybrid, we would still keep, a traditional gas car, because there will be situations where, we might go a distance that wouldn't be covered, or we don't want to deal with the hassles of having to spend X amount of time at a charger. Especially like sometimes chargers are just like super busy depending on where you live. Seattle being a pretty progressive area, there's a lot of people with EVs. I've seen those Tesla stations at the grocery store or at the Walgreens or wherever. They're busy, and sometimes people are waiting and like looking for a spot to open up. So yeah, there are situations where we would still want to use a gas car. So hybrid, baby, a little bit of battery. See, I don't want a hybrid because it is the best of both worlds, but it's like one of those jack of all trades, master of none type thing. And I think if you only have one car, a hybrid does make sense. But because me and my wife have, and we do have situations where we need two separate cars, like we're doing different things or whatever. Nobody ever needs a car, right? You can always use public transportation. But in this scenario, I'm saying we use our cars separately and go different directions or whatever. Yeah, that's where having two cars is very helpful, and not having to rely on like the rideshare apps, and depending on how good your public transportation is in your area. Hey, what up, Casey? I see you were on the vertical stream today. Okay. Enough small talk. We're 30 minutes in the stream somehow. Y'all make it really easy to just talk for days, but okay. Ooh, this is the great loop that John was talking about. 6,000 miles continuous boating trip. John, is with your boat, John? Are we talking about with your boat, or would you rent, do like somebody else's boat that is capable of that trip? I know nothing about boats, so I have no idea if your boat is capable of something like this. But wow, yeah, this actually looks really cool. Continuous boating trip. Moving aboard a 50-foot yacht. I don't think your boat was a 50-foot yacht, right? You would definitely be renting this. Okay, so what we're doing is we're looking at people's local used markets and help to just deal hunt, because it's fun looking at either how good or bad the used market around the country can be. So Tavian was the first person to post, and if you guys want me to also look in your area, hopefully we'll have enough time to look for everybody. Post in the stream submissions, follow the instructions to put your zip code, component, and then your price range, and then we will try to help you find components. So first we have Tavian. What is this zip code? We're gonna do local zip code. Where is this at? This is Enola. Okay. Enola, Pennsylvania. And then let me do it on Facebook Marketplace as well. Boom. And then we'll do, I think, 20 miles. Ain't nobody trying to drive like super far to pick up PC hardware. Okay, so Tavian is looking for any small form factor parts for a build. Price range, the total build is gonna be $1,000. So we gotta think about this. If you're trying to do an ITX build for $1,000, what kind of components can you realistically get? See, I'm thinking because you're gonna have to go specialty on like the SFX power supply, assuming small form factor, we're talking ITX here, and then potentially the motherboard. $1,000. I'm thinking last gen parts like a RTX 3070 or a 6700 XT. You might be able to get a like 3070 Ti or 6800, but I don't think you can go much higher than that graphics card wise and a compatible CPU, because I mean, let's look at, you need a power supply, so let's look at what we can find there. SFX power supply. Oh, what? Okay, I think 500 watt would be like if you're not gonna want like upper mid tier to high end parts anywhere down the line. Yeah, see, so people are selling SFX power supplies. But I would say this is a great deal. If I've never heard of it. Wait, what is this company? What is this power supply? Hovex Jezik. Yeah, this would be a great deal if this was like kind of from a more reputable brand. If you were good with 500 watts, which a lot of systems would be good with it. Like if you had a 3060 or 3060 Ti with like, I don't know, some Ryzen 5 processor, a 500 watt power supply would serve you very well. But I don't know if I would. What is this brand? Hovex JZK. Has anyone heard of this brand? It's on Amazon. Wait up. This is a normal size one, but this one is SFX. Sorry, give me a second. SFX. How much is the SFX one brand new? What is this person trying to sell? Oh, well, here it is. It doesn't have the best stars, but stars doesn't mean anything on Amazon. Yeah, no idea how much it costs new. This is a 400 watt one. The 500 watt one is even on here. So it's looking like 500 watt normal. Yeah. You have to, yes, you do have to take the length of the GPU into account, which, honestly, the hard thing about this request from Tavian is, I think when most people pick if they choose the route that they are going is, SFX, I feel like most of the time they already have the case in mind. So once you have the case in mind, that makes it easier to choose the remaining components, right? Like, because some ITX cases do take, full-size power supplies, like the NZXT H200. And then, yeah, the power, or the graphics card length is also a consideration. So, without knowing what the case Tavian wants is, I'm just kind of looking for parts that we can choose safely without considering like everything fitting. Though if they knew what case they wanted, that would make it a lot easier. It's an micro ATX case. Oh, it's micro ATX? Okay, see, that's the details we need, because you said small form factor. I don't know. What do you guys think? Let's run a poll. We will run a poll. Is micro ATX considered small form factor? Do you consider small form factor? Start poll. Let's do this poll. Yeah, I do not look at micro ATX as small form factor. But I don't know. I don't even know what the technical definition of it is. ITX builds are a nuance. You can't... It depends, again, on the case. Because there are plenty of ITX cases, like, let's say, the Height Revolt, right? That case can fit pretty much any full-size graphics card. It could... Or the Corsair vertical tower, the one that I'm using. It could fit... Okay, maybe not any graphics card, but plenty of 3-fan graphics cards, as well as, you know, pretty much every SFX power supply. And then you would get a low profile cooler. So there are ways to plan around like a universal ITX build, but not if you go for like a super small compact form factor one that does have a lot of restrictions. Within the ITX form factor, you know, ones that use ITX size motherboards, there are definitely ones with tons of restrictions, and then tons of cases with like a wide range of parts that you could use. That powertrain micro ATX case would be considered small form factor. Yeah, that's where it can be kind of like a gray area, because it is smaller than a lot of micro ATX cases in general, yeah. Okay, so now we have what Tavian plans to build in. The Lee A3 is what you plan to build. See, this is the details we needed when you submitted to the stream submissions. Like, as much details as possible, because, okay, Lee A3, this is a micro form factor, 26.3 liters. What's the inside of this thing look like? Okay. Oh, this is very similar. Okay, this is like the powertrain. Or no, I guess it's kind of like the powertrain as well as the N200 or NR200 rather from Cooler Master. Howie TV says, "Yo, love the streams. Keep pushing out fire content. Ride along videos are dope." What up, Howie TV? Thanks for the kind words. I appreciate it. Okay, so you have $1,000 to spend. How much is this case? You don't have this case yet, and I'm assuming you're gonna buy it new, because finding something like this in the used market is gonna not be the easiest thing. So this is a $70 case. Okay, this is very reasonable price for a case in the price range of $1,000 PC build. Okay, what kind of micro ATX? So you can use a micro ATX motherboard, and then is this ATX? And it supports ATX power supplies. Okay, so essentially there's not many restrictions, so we can just look for power supplies, particularly, or hopefully like a modular one. You actually have a ton of flexibility for power supplies. Why did this go back to? Oh my goodness! Oh, here we go. Okay, now that we have more information, let me think. $1,000, $70 already towards the case, and we're gonna assume this is before tax. Otherwise, it needs to be a $900 build where tax brings it up closer to $1,000. What can you get in a $900 build if you're using used parts? I mean, let's look at what 6800s are going for. Are $300? Can we get a 6800 XT? Oh my god, this local, here we go. Renee, you, what do we parting out? We're not parting out anything specifically for me. This is for people who want me to take a look at their local used market to help them find parts that they need. So this is for Tavian looking to put together $1,000 build. And seeing what we could put into it. We have a micro ATX case. What is the limitations for the the graphics card? I keep on saying power supply. Graphics card length. The PSU, assuming it's a full length PSU. Give me a second. Let's just like assume worst case scenario. GPU. Yeah, see this diagram right here? If you grab like an elongated power supply, which you're not going to need to, I don't think, at this price range, unless you find like, you know, a good deal for it. If you get an elongated one, it might creep into the graphics card territory and limit the 415. Do they give the info on that? Let me see. Anti-sag GPU length. See, compatibility is based on the configuration. Yeah, it would be nice to know if you've put... Even if you cut off the power supply height, you should still be able to fit a decent side graphics card in there. I mean, I think there's... Are they showing a 3-fan? But these 6800 XTs are not the best price. Jeez, what are people... Let me take a look at this real quick. 2 years ago, okay. Can we get some recent listings? People who aren't smoking. 375. 375. That doesn't sound like... This is shipped too. We're not looking for shipped. So it looks like locally, okay. How about 3070s? What is going on here? Does Enola... Tavian, I think Enola actually might really suck for deals. Yeah. Or the area that you're in Pennsylvania. It's only showing you ship things because look at this. If you... Oh, Jonathan Talbert with the super chat. Sorry. Jonathan Talbert with the super chat. What do you think of the GPU and the style of its layout? Check out the Gigabyte 680. 680? You're talking about like GTX 680? Jonathan, I'm going to leave your message up. Because I want to at least finish Tavian's thing. So, actually, I gotta pull it down because it's blocking the screen. But Jonathan, I will get to your super chat. Let me give it a thumbs up. Okay. Yeah. Wow. What are we looking at here? How about the 3060s? People are selling fully built PCs. At this point, you're better off just buying on online marketplaces and not in your local used market. Yeah, what? 30 miles from where Tavian is, close to the capital, which you would think is like, you know, lots of people. But wow, is this like a PC hardware desert? Because the RTX 3060 is like one of the most popular cards if we're going by Steam hardware survey. It has been out for long enough where there should be plenty in the used market. I'm looking within a 30-mile radius, which on the freeway driving at 60 miles an hour, that is a 30-minute per way trip. I'm not trying to look for like 2 hours away, right? Even a popular car like the 3060, where you're either getting this $500, well, this is a gaming PC with it included. Selling my gaming PC. Okay, this isn't bad. i7 11. This is actually not bad. This is a Dell PC though. Dell. It looks like a Dell pre-built. What? This has a i7 11700 in it. So this is actually not a bad price. But you're not looking for this, and I'm assuming you're not looking to resell parts that you don't need because that's just a pain in the butt. Especially if you don't end up moving it and then you're stuck with some parts, especially like from a Dell Optiplex or a Dell XPS rather. So this is a Dell XPS system. The specs are pretty nice. It's got a 3060, 32 gigs of RAM, 1 terabyte. I'm assuming SSD plus some other storage. Yeah, it's got the NVMe right there. And then it's got an i7 in it of not that old of a generation. For $500, I mean, not the platform, but like the base system being in an XPS is not the greatest thing in the world. But specs wise, for a fully built turnkey computer, $500 for this is not bad, honestly. The thing is, individual components in your market sucks. Unfortunately, I do have to move on, but I do have a tip for you, Tavian. You have $1,000 to spend. On eBay and Jawa, you should be able to easily build a nice system for your micro ATX case that you're aiming for. Yeah, eBay prices actually aren't terrible. Like for a graphics card, you might be spending 20 or 30 bucks, you know, on a graphics card compared to finding a good local deal. But you don't have good local deals in your area. Just by searching those like 4 different things and finding almost nothing. It seems like a lot of people in your area are selling like built computers, but not components for the most part. So I do unfortunately have to move on, but my suggestion is eBay, because you do have your you know, buyer protection and stuff like that. Anything you buy on eBay, buy the eBay things last, because you don't want to use up your window of returning, you know, because as you're piecing parts together, right? If you separate it all out, like you buy this part 1 week, this part another week, this part another week, and it takes you like 3 months to finish building your PC, the first parts you would have bought might have been past the return window or whatever, right? So just keep that in mind for anyone buying used parts. When are you buying your first part, and when are you buying your last part, for you to be able to put together this computer to test the parts. Now, if you have another system, like a secondary system, then don't ignore that advice, because you could test the thing like as soon as you got it. But I'm talking about for people who don't have a secondary test system. Also, take a look at AliExpress. Before we move away from Tavian's things and then going to the super chat, AliExpress, look at the compatibility, because that's going to take me too long to do. We've already spent that much time. But 6750 GRE. This is probably going to be the graphics card, if I had to guess, Tavian. This graphics card, I'll link it right here for you. It's not going to work. Never mind. Can I get the short link, please? Can I get the short link? You're killing me here, AliExpress. Let me copy this. So copy. Oh, and this is a 2-fan card? Okay. 6750 GRE for under $300. There's probably coupon codes you can stack. Go watch one of Oztalks Hardware's latest videos. I think they might still have those coupons. AliExpress has lots of coupons. You just need to find them on the internet. I don't know if the ones ended in the end of August, but you could get this priced even lower. But yeah, in terms of compatibility and fitting, there's not going to be an issue with the 2-fan card with the case that you chose. This is going to be brand new. AliExpress is pretty quick with the shipping times. Like, let me take a look over here. Like, most of the parts, unless it was a case, when I buy from AliExpress, it comes in under 10 days. Most of the time, it's around that 7-day mark. But like, for this one, if you bought now, yeah, it's a week to a week and a half about, or a week to 2 weeks. I would say a deal or prices this good that AliExpress has, it makes it so that sometimes it's not even worth looking in the used market, if that makes sense, right? Sure, you might be able to get one for like maybe $250, $260. Maybe, not you, because your local market looks like it's not good. But for me, I could probably get 6700 XT, which is very, close in performance to this, in my used market for $250. But to save the hassle of even have the driving, to save the hassle of testing it to make sure it even works, to relieve your, concerns of it potentially being a mining card that might die early, and just getting a brand new card on here, I would say this is just the easy answer, and it easily fits within your budget. You probably could still come under budget, because this is a $300 graphics card. You could pair a 5600 with it. I guess if you want, you could go a newer gen, but you have DDR4, so likely you will have to stick with the AM4 platform. But yeah, check out AliExpress. They have a lot of stuff. I know it's not a local deal, but I was just helping him out. Unfortunately, his local area sucks. But okay, before we get to the next one, I gotta go back to, I hope Jonathan Tolbear is still here. Sorry, it took me a while to get to this. First of all, thank you for the $5 super chat. Second, what do you think of the GPU and the style and layout? Okay, so you were asking about the Gigabyte 680 super clocked. Oh, I remember this. Okay, so you were talking about the old. So if you guys haven't seen this before, this gargantuan mammoth of a card. Oh wait, are these the only fans on it? Only fans. What was the MSRP of this thing? Let me see MSRP, and then GTX 680 MSRP. So the 680 launch MSRP was $499. Okay, what was the gigabyte one? Super overclock. What was the MSRP of this thing? Did anyone review it? I'm just trying to see how different the price was. Do I have to type review into it? Let's see. Guru 3D. This is 2012. We're talking about a 12-year-old graphics card here. Where is the price? There is no price. What? This card is pretty iconic. Because of the design. How is it this hard to find what the MSRP is? Oh, 550? That's it? According to XBit Labs, which, I don't know. I mean, I don't see any reason for them to lie. Manufactured Taiwan costs 550. So we're talking about 500 versus 550. I'm actually surprised with such a like unique, different design, and supposedly super overclock out of the box. That wasn't more expensive. I would say that this design, and I've never used this card, it kind of makes sense, right? Because if you look at the way that fin directions is stacked, this is how a tower cooler on a PC case is designed, where the fans blow directly between the fin stacks to the open other side, which I get on this end, it'll be on the other end of, you know, the fins, which run vertically. When you have a traditional graphics card with the fans on this face, you're pushing through the fin stack a shorter distance, and it's hitting the PCB and having to, like, you know, make a 90-degree turn to escape. So I would, it's hard though, because these are tinier fans. So, I mean, I think this design is unique and cool. I think it might be being extra though, because we know that the typical graphics card designed like this, at least for, actually even up to high-end cards, we know that they work, the 2 and 3 fan cards, they work good enough for the cards of today. You know, the RTX, the powerful cards, 7900 XTX, 4080, 4090. We know these, this traditional fan design, 2 big fans or 3 big fans pushing down against the PCB works. Doing this, pushing parallel to the PCB, I mean, I'm not going to be mad at a company trying to innovate and do something different, but you've got 5 smaller fans. I don't know, I would imagine this might be louder, and I don't know cooling wise how much better this design would be. How many watts was this thing? Do they say on here? 500 watts of heat. What's the RTX 4090 TDP? 450. Even though I think there's rumors now with like the RTX 580. I saw some stuff pop up on social media. They're looking at like the 5000 series Nvidia cards might be pushing closer to like 500 to 600 watts. But yeah, I mean, I think there's a reason why there weren't other cards made using this design. I don't think it was particularly a good or popular design to continue, if that makes sense. What's up, Sticks? Thanks for the kind words. I appreciate it. OfferUp is trash, says Casey Walls. It kind of is. OfferUp is trash, which is why I also look at Facebook Marketplace. But, I feel like for the most part, you see the same people posting things on both. But we'll see. We'll take a look at Spicy Bruce, who is preferring an NVIDIA graphics card, looking at a price range of $500 at a zip code of 16652. Let's change this up to another person from Pennsylvania. 20 miles. All we go is 20 miles. Local only. Let's see if we can find. So what are we looking at? $500. What can we get for $500? Graphics card in the used market. That's definitely, I'm thinking 3080 Ti territory. And you want NVIDIA, so. Or you might be able to get a 4070, 500 bucks, maybe 4070 Super even. Let's see. We'll just put 4070 and the Supers should pop up. Alright, let's take a look. $550 for a 4070 Super. First of all, before we even do that, we gotta look at what the prices are. They are pretty, like, are they readily available for they're 600 bucks, so no price drops. You can get 550 refurbished, 570 open box. Okay. What else we got? We got eBay. Just trying to get an idea of what they're going for on the different alternatives. Yeah, so you can get refurbished ones for about, okay, so 560-ish. What do we, did I put a price? Yeah, I did put within 20 miles. 525, okay, not a huge discount. 450 for a normal 4070. It's like on offer up side of things. Why do you keep doing this to me? No shipping. Oh, okay, so there's no 4070s. How about 3080 or variants? Nope. Okay, offer up sucks for you too. Apparently Pennsylvania and offer up sucks. Lax Lifter says, cool to learn about AliExpress. I have never tried it before, or Temu. I would say if we were to rank AliExpress and Temu, right? AliExpress to me is pretty much like the equivalent of buying something on Newegg or Amazon. Maybe just a little bit lower because the returns might be more of a pain in the butt, or like warranty and things like that. And like in terms of shipping speeds, etc. But it is pretty up there with those. Temu, on the other hand, is a decent amount lower. I would say Temu is not on the same level as the Newegg's, the Amazons, and stuff like that. But AliExpress, I would rank up there with them. So, yeah, definitely. If you never shopped on AliExpress before, definitely check it out. I mean, the good thing about them is they have like so many coupons, which the coupons are nice because they're not based on items. Like if you go on Newegg and, you know, Amazon and stuff like that, sometimes they do have like $20 off, but it's for like very specific items. Like this graphics card has like a $20 offer code off on Newegg or something. But the nice thing about AliExpress is a lot of their money off coupon codes, it's just based on how much you spend. So you can buy from like 5 different sellers on AliExpress and your grand cart total was like 200 bucks. They might have like a $30 off $200 spent coupon, and it doesn't matter what items you bought or what sellers you bought from, you can just get your savings. So that's the nice thing about it. But again, you are going to be, you know, not getting 2 to 3 day shipping like with Amazon Prime or Newegg was usually like same week. And you know, it's not considered like a US based company, but I like AliExpress and I would recommend it for sure. Okay, going back to trying to find Spicy Bruce's $500 NVIDIA graphics card. 40. We're seeing 4070s, but I mean, I'm not sure of these prices. Yeah. Like, what can you get a 4070 non-super for brand new? Because most of these are like 450. Have they phased these out yet? So, 5... Okay. So, you could get a 4070. And they're about 4... Okay. I might have to consider the extra 50 bucks. Yeah. I would say consider the extra 50 bucks for the 4070 Super. And this looks to be the... Let me see. Let me look again. And what you would be this isn't like a huge discount from buying it new, but that's if you don't consider tax. When you buy something in the used market, you don't pay tax. Unless you buy it like offer up shipping or whatever the heck. But why does this keep on changing my stuff? Is it because there's nothing? Wow. Oh, and it's looking in cars and trucks. Okay, what are you doing? What are you doing, OfferUp? You're making me, you're not making me look bad. You're making yourself look bad. And Casey Walls is like, see, I told you it sucks. Yeah, why is it going straight to... I think it might be partially because I'm in incognito mode. I use Amazon. I trust it the most. I mean, even Amazon, you're not safe from scams. Sometimes people buy a graphics card, they take the graphics card out, they put a rock in it, they return it to Amazon, and they seal it up and everything so you can't tell. And then Amazon's like, oh, okay, this is like a new graphics card that was just returned. Let's ship it to the next guy. And then they ship it to you and you get a rock instead of a graphics card. But yeah, so not a ton of choices. Also, these online apps, like, please, if I wanted to find stuff that were for shipping, I would like say so. Just show me nothing. I would prefer to see nothing than to see what 4070 Supers are going for in Phoenix, Arizona. So OfferUp is off the table. Actually, I'm curious how much a 3090 is in your area, right? Nothing. RTX, like, if I just put RTX, can I find anything? Looking up the broad term RTX. Yeah, I don't know, something about Pennsylvania, or maybe Pennsylvania Today. If you type in RTX, within 20 miles, maybe we up it to 30 miles. What? We've got pre-built gaming PCs, and that's pretty much it. So there's nothing in OfferUp for you, Spicy Bruce, unfortunately, for your price range. Unless we start looking at AMD cards, but you said NVIDIA preference. Is it really within 20 miles to Aldi? I'm not good with geography or US cities and states and their distances, but like, how far is DC from, let me see. Smallish town for you. Yeah. Let's see what Jawa has. Jawa, a lot of the deals get snatched up really quickly from the builders on the site themselves, so that they can like put it into builds and flip it. 3060, 4070 Ti. Okay, so there's not that many things in your price range. I mean, getting a 3080 Ti wouldn't be the worst thing either. You're so close to that price point for a 4070 Super. I used to return broken headphones for new ones to Walmart all the time to get my money back. I would always say nothing was wrong with them. Then one day I bought a broken pair that I had returned. RV, you... I don't know what to say about that. Though, in my younger days, I probably would have done something like that as well. Yeah, I mean, you can get open box from... You can get it for exactly $5.50, but the thing is, I don't know what tax is in Pennsylvania, but if this was Washington State, this is $54 of tax on top of $550, which essentially makes it a $600 card. See, but man, unfortunately, that... I'm not sure what else I can really recommend, given that you want specifically an NVIDIA card. Yeah, lots of PA, or 6% tax. Okay, so 6%, what is that? That's like 30 something bucks, right? 6% on 55, that's like 30 something. So then it becomes like a $580 card, which sucks. It's again, why are we getting taxed twice? Someone already paid the sales tax on this card when it was bought brand new. Now it's being sold, and then you're paying tax on it again through eBay. Something that I will never stop complaining about. But, yeah, Spicy Brews, I tried. It's... When your local market is dry AF, you gotta consider eBay, like, Jawa, Amazon open box. Like, let's see if there's any Amazon open box before we move on to the next person. 4070 Super. Like, what can we really get here? 593? Okay. No. 565 for this ugly Twin Eagle card. I'm sorry if you have a Twin Eagle card out there. I just think they're hideous. But, yeah. I like Amazon open box deals if you can find a good price on stuff. I would rank Amazon open box over eBay, because dealing with Amazon for returns and stuff is so much more preferable. eBay usually takes care of you, but the process, they're like, oh, contact the seller, and then the seller ignores you, and then you gotta wait the whatever period until you raise another ticket saying they didn't respond to me, or they respond at the last second, and then you go back and forth. Amazon's like, okay, I got a problem with my order. Can I get the thing so I could, you know, the return label, and I just ship and return it to you? So I would definitely rank Amazon open box stuff over eBay, but eBay definitely has like more selection when it comes to used stuff. Oh, here's one. You can buy it brand new. You can get the Galaxy card 4070 Super one click for $574. So is it worth spending an extra 25 bucks to get a brand new to you card over the used $550 eBay one? I mean, that's gonna be up for you to decide. But yeah, there's not many. Here's a 560. This was free shipping. 560 used, very good, free shipping. So yeah, this is close, and this is the 3-fan gigabyte WindForce card. So on the used one, and Amazon return policies is great. So yeah, for sure. I tried. I will say, I admit that I know I am you know, very lucky to be living in a state that, or even an area like Seattle, that is like a PC tech oasis. Lots of more options to choose from. Lots of tech enthusiasts here. So this is why I also like doing these types of streams, because when I go out and look in your guys' local areas and we come across horrible, barren, you know, marketplaces, it regrounds me in terms of like, oh, I can't just make videos talking like, oh, it's so easy to go pick up a used graphics card for cheap. Why doesn't everybody do it, right? And you guys might have seen in a lot of my more recent videos, I do try to find more deals on like local online places that everybody has access to, and not just like my lucky deals down the street, because that wouldn't be like completely fair, right? So I try to mix in more online deals as well, and not just do everything super lucky finds that no one else can get because I live in Seattle. But yeah. All right. Not tech support. Stream submissions. What do we got? What do we got? We got D-Man66 with the 45042 zip code. 25 bucks, 60 hertz. Basis stand locally, 1920 by 1200. Very nice grab. What are you going to be using that for, Shauner? Or is that for your buddy to go with his system? Which his system would he would probably, with that type of money, he should be going on high refresh rate. Okay, we got Ohio here. 20 miles, search radius in Ohio. And we are looking for local only still. We are looking for ITX AM4 motherboard SFX power supply. Price range $500. You know, okay, so we'll take a look at ITX and see what we can find. But based on the recent streams, I mean, ITX motherboard AM4, right? And we're going to compare it to the AliExpress special. Okay, ITX motherboards. You see, the thing about ITX is, it is really a niche form factor that you don't really find a ton of stuff in. At least your market has a lot of stuff, it looks like. But just searching for motherboards, it's only giving me pre-built systems and graphics cards. Yeah, ITX motherboards is not something I would expect to pick up in the used market. Though, wow, there's nothing on OfferUp. There's nothing. Everything is a shipping. Like, and it's, here's a B650, but that's AM5. What did you say? You need an AM4 one. Yeah. So, I don't think you're going to be able to find that, unfortunately. Here's a micro ATX. Yeah, we're going to just stop there. But your power supply situation might be a little better. So SFX power supply. Nope, you ain't got nothing on OfferUp. On Facebook, what do we got? Big power supplies, SFX. How far is this? When I put within 20 miles, are these all actually within 20 miles? Where is this again? Can I zoom out? Give me a second. Let me look on Google Maps. Because it's telling me there's stuff in like Hardinsburg, Kentucky. Is that really within the 20 miles? Hardinsburg, Kentucky? I don't think so. See, alright Casey, here's my complaint about Facebook Marketplace to you. Why is it that it's showing me stuff and it's not clearly indicating... I know, I guess for most people, they would know, right? Like, if you lived in Ohio... Middletown, Ohio, you would know that, okay, Hardinsburg, Kentucky is not within 20 miles. But for the purposes of me doing this, it's not telling me which listings are out of range when I clearly put within 20 miles here. So, yeah, it doesn't look like you have any SFX power supplies unless Salina, Ohio. But then this is 90 bucks for a 650 watt. You can get that for pretty much brand new, I think. Like SFX power supply. SFX 650 power supply. Here's a channel well one. Some of the tier lists on these are going to be a little bit harder to find. But you're looking around the same price range. 90 bucks for a used one. Versus just buying one new. If you don't need 650 though, and you can go smaller. What happened to SFX power supply pricing? I could have sworn there was plenty of them under 90 bucks. Like not too long ago. Why is everything... Here's an FSP one, but it's only 450 watts. These dagger ones... wow, it just jumped up like crazy to 650. What? Did SFX Here's a Silverstone one for 85 bucks. I'll put 10 miles and it gets bored of it quickly and starts showing me stuff in cities 100 miles away. Yeah, dude. Oh. I mean, normally it's fine because you instantly recognize what is in range or not based on where you live in. But because I'm looking at cities that I'm not super familiar with, it's a lot harder for me to find. Look at this, a Pevia SFX unit, 400 watts for only 32 bucks. Pretty questionable, but this is where you start looking at the new and used offers. Which there's not even that much of a selection. Let's check out Newegg real quick. Sometimes Amazon just be on something. Let's see, 850 watt. Okay, let me sort this real quick. SFX power supply. Get this garbage out of my face. SFX. Silverstone 300 watt for, oh man, they're, yeah. William says, love your channel. I watched this whole week. I've watched every LAN party. I've never been to a single LAN party. I feel like I've been to all of them. Awesome. That's the point of the series. To spread the word of LAN party and to share the experience with people who cannot go for whatever reason. All right, man. Something about the small form factor power supplies. You're not getting anything 500 watts from a reputable, quality power supply from a reputable company for under $100, even for something as low as 500 watts. Yeah, what just happened to the market? I mean, I haven't built ITX for a while, but this is kind of super sucky. Rizzo says, Salina, Ohio is full of math heads. I think I know what you mean. Not math heads, but we can say meth. They're not going to demonetize me. Offer half and they will sell. Let's see if the Silverstone one... nope, there's no options for higher end ones. In general, though, I would say if you are building a small form factor system, I would not have the expectation to find motherboards, cases, and power supplies in your local used market. It is just way too niche, and you're basing it on luck, right? But when it comes to normal ATX and even maybe micro ATX size motherboards, CPUs, RAM, graphics cards, things like that, SSDs, storage, those things I would say you could usually find much more listings and offerings in the used market. Cause yeah, especially ITX stuff, from my point of view, I would not want to sell my ITX stuff for a really, really long time, if at all, in the local market, because it'll take such a big hit from being used. It'll either take a big hit from being used, price-wise, right? You're going to lose a lot of money on it because ITX stuff already carries a premium on them. Then trying to sell in the used market and having to reduce the price to move it just doesn't feel like it's worth selling alone. Maybe if I sold it in a full build, because builds, it seems like builds would be, an ITX build would be easier to sell than an ITX motherboard or ITX size power supply. Yeah, if you're building ITX, I would say maybe buy the specialty components on something like AliExpress, which look at, we found nothing in the used market, but you could have for free shipping to your door under $60 an ITX AM4 motherboard in white even. Under 60 bucks. What is this? What chipset is this though? This is a B350i. depending on your needs, if you are willing to, I'm assuming they would put the latest BIOS on this. Let me see the compatibility. Recently bought a pair with this BIOS loaded in what appeared to be Chinese. Wander around, everything. Okay, so I mean, people are giving it good reviews, but to be on the safe side, you probably want to look for closer to a B450i or B550, which we could try to take a look for. Like, look at this. Here's an ITX board that is pretty bare. No heat sinks on the bare items, but under $100, B550. There's got to be more options too. Let me see. Here's an X370 ITX. Here's an A520 ITX. So, but you had like 500 to spend, so I'm thinking you're looking at the higher end stuff. So you would probably be like B550. No, you're AM4. Oh yeah, so B550. Will I reveal hole at... I don't even know what hole you're talking about. There are a lot of different holes that I could reveal. I don't know what you're talking about though. Here's a on... Yeah, did someone mention on the board? I might have seen it earlier in the chat. On the B550, yeah, these boards are very, very naked. Here's one, but this is 135 from ASRock. See, if you want the discounts over on AliExpress, you can't be choosing brands like MSI and ASRock. You have to be choosing like Jingxiu, or whatever that brand was, and Onda. Though this one, no, this is a micro ATX. How about a B450? Might be a little bit cheaper. Yeah, B450. Here's the Jingdu one. So not a B350, but a B450i. A little bit more expensive because the other one was under 60. So this one's like 15 bucks more. And it is good for 57. Yeah, so this has a BIOS update because it says they list 5700X, 5600 and stuff. So you are good with the latest generation, the last generation of AM4 CPUs. I mean, you're not going to find a better deal than this on Amazon or Newegg. And you are not likely to find anything in the used market. You're right, but for some reason they want to keep AM4, and for 500 it's not just, it's for the power supply too. So assume $100 power supply. That means they have 400 left, but 400 is a lot for a motherboard. I'm assuming they might have a 5800 X3D or something already, but okay, before I even get to this one, actually, I didn't even check. Mob Heisenberg 69, are you in the chat right now? Because if you already left and you're not here, there's no point in looking at this stuff, and we could move on to other stuff. But while we wait for Mob, Dan Kim has a question. Hi, I'm building a gaming PC for my daughter and was thinking of pairing a 5500 with a 2070. Is that a good combination? That pair works fine, but if you can get a... have you already bought the parts? Oh, okay. D-Man66 is here. I'm Mob. Okay, Anon is Mob. In the UK, not USA. You can move on. No. We'll do it. I think this should work fine. Do you guys use OfferUp over in the UK? I'm sure Facebook is going to pop up with stuff. But thank you, both of you, for chiming in, because I totally forgot to check. Sometimes people submit to stream, then they have to like go or something, or they lose interest. So then we're like doing work for nobody. But yeah. No, only Facebook Marketplace and eBay. Okay, so essentially Facebook Marketplace, because if you're looking on eBay, you can do that, you know, or it's not considered like local, which is what we're trying to focus on here, because eBay is gonna have shipping and stuff. So Lutkin UK, you're looking for GPU, monitor, and CPU those three in the price range of $1,000. I'm gonna need more information, like chipsets. You know, it sounds like you have a motherboard already, so we need to know what chipset it is to find the CPU. The monitor, it's kind of hard. Monitors is like one of those things that takes a huge hit in value once it hits the used market, but I have no idea like what specs you're looking for on the monitor. And then for GPU, we can look for like general things, but Luton, let's look at a 30-mile radius. Give us, okay, it goes from 20 to 40, and I cannot type in specifically, so I guess we're going 20. You can also negotiate. Yeah, of course. Just assume here that everything is negotiated on. Gumtree's kind of eh. We can look at Gumtree, mainly because I never look at Gumtree. Do I need to have an account, though? Because I'm not trying to sign in. Okay. RTX. Let's just look for RTX. What can we find? Luton. Is this right? Luton, Bedfordshire. And we'll go 30 miles. Gumtree. So just looking in general at graphics cards, at least NVIDIA RTX cards. Let me zoom in so that the people on the vertical aren't left stranded. Okay, let's see. What do we got here? 2060s. Okay, what is the pounds conversion again? Let's see. 100 USD to British pounds. So we're looking at a 75 to 100. Okay. So 75, this is the equivalent of 200 USD. Okay. For 2060? 200 is what you would be looking to spend on a 3060 or 3060 Ti. In the US anyways. Hard to say over here. Let's see. 4090. Oh, man. Yeah, the conversions. Going from this to USD is gonna kill me. 3060 twin. Yeah, the prices over there is just more expensive in general, though. I'm gonna keep looking for a little bit, but solely because you're just looking to buy to flip, and I don't know the UK market, I don't know how much help I could be looking through this kind of stuff, you know? Especially since it's not like gonna be helpful for you and your own personal PC. You're looking to buy it at the most discount you can so that you can flip it and make money. And just me looking at, first of all, prices that I have to convert and have to know that what the UK trends are, which I know it's all more expensive than the US. I don't know by how much more though. It's gonna be hard for me to give any kind of advice, but I am down to just browse a little bit to see what the pricing is like. I just bought the graphics card on eBay. The Rise is on sale at Best Buy. Okay. Give me 1 second. I want to help Dan Kim because Dan, you can buy a 5600 on AliExpress, which is very safe. You could buy a Ryzen 5600 better than the Ryzen 5 5500 with free shipping. It'll get to you in about a week to a week and a half on AliExpress for like, I don't know. I'm just randomly looking and I found this one. This is the welcome deal, so it might be a little bit more expensive, but you can get it for the same price as that 5500. So I would recommend you go on AliExpress and find a Ryzen 5 5600. There's buyer protection and everything. You don't have to worry about that. AliExpress is legit. I would recommend that over the Ryzen 5 5500, which is on sale at Best Buy. It's just gonna be the better CPU that's gonna last longer. But yeah, the 5500 would work fine with the 2070. The 5600 would also work fine and last longer, so that you can upgrade from the 2070 and use something even more powerful if you got the 5600. So yeah, highly recommend AliExpress for that. Yeah, there's plenty of them for like around 80 bucks, at least a welcome deal. Yeah, look into AliExpress. Trust, it is like, I feel like people think it's so sketchy for some reason, but Alibaba and AliExpress, that is where so many things come from. Like, not PC, like, hardware-wise, like, but a lot of the stuff that you guys are buying from eBay and Amazon, like, just whatever the heck, battery packs, I don't know, they're all coming from the same places that these AliExpress sellers are selling from. Like, they're made in the exact same factories. I'm trying to think of, like, I don't know, if I'm looking for a rubber spatula on Amazon for, like, cooking, it's going to be more expensive than AliExpress, but they're all coming from, like, the same factories. It's just people are marking up the price and reselling on Amazon and making a profit because people want it in 1 to 2 days. But if you can wait, like, a week to 10 days, buying it on AliExpress... Now, with PC hardware, it's a little bit different, right? Because these ones don't come with coolers, so I should specify that. If you buy these CPUs, these are tray CPUs, they don't come with coolers, but you could just buy whatever $15 to $20 cooler on Amazon. That's even better than the stock cooler anyways. And yeah, if you're familiar with computers at all, I would recommend this, Dan, Kim. If you're like very, you know, nervous about working on the computer and stuff like that, then I can understand why Best Buy would be more like preferred. But yeah, I just wanted to try to, you know, get you a better for your money if possible. But going back to Gumtree, 3070 Founders Edition for £310, that makes it every 100 is 75. So 75 times 2 is 75. This is like 400 something dollars. Yeah, this is for just over $400. Wow. Okay, yeah, then Dan, definitely check out the 5600 offerings on AliExpress. Try to see if you can find a coupon code. You can just Google it, or watch whatever content creator that had I think Oddstocks Hardware, I know, had one recently. But yeah, you can save even more money. Potentially get it for around 60 to 70 bucks. I just kind of treat the pounds as a dollar sign, but with like 20% less. Yeah, this one for 150. This would be like a 2070 Super going for 200 US dollars, or it is 200 US dollars. That's the conversion, 75 to 100. Sweaty Potato says, you're mixing up your i7s and your i5s because the 10400 KF is... The 10400 doesn't have a K. Did you mistype a 4 instead of a 7? Because they're near each other on the numpad. But for 160, ooh, that... Yeah, no worries, Dan. Thanks for coming to the stream and hanging out. Okay, we're not gonna address anything about Ryzen 4070s. That's such an like overplayed out joke. That's not even funny. $3080s for $475. Yeah, what? Yeah, okay. Yeah, I can't comment on these prices because 3080s you can find in the US. Maybe not the AR's Extreme one, but like a base model 3080 is like $400, right? Which would be the equivalent of 300 British pounds, which makes this one 150% of the price. Even with the more expensive PC hardware in the UK, this just seems overpriced. So it doesn't look like Gumtree has too much, but yeah, I think I am going to move on just because it's hard to do UK stuff, and this is for your flipping, so I'm sure you know your own market more than I can help you, unfortunately. Okay. So this was a suggestion for Tavian, so he can take a look at that since he got tagged. Here is the build. Let's take a look at this that Shauner built prior to stream. And what was the specs again? This was 86 flow, 8X670 Ryzen 7 7800X3D RTX 4080 build. I thought the H6 flow was more roomy than this. Maybe it's just because that graphics card is so gigantic, but this case I thought it's kind of like a dual chamber case. I thought it was on the same, like on par, the same level as the height Y60. But this looks like a compact case. That 360mm rad barely fits. And okay, that's the Thermalright one. Have you built in the Y60, Shauner? Is this case noticeably smaller? It just looks smaller to me for some reason. And yeah, the 4080 is huge, but I feel like in the Y60... Here, let me see. The Y60 is huge. This is still a decently sized case. Okay. Yeah, the Y60 is really huge, but I just kind of, in my mind, all the dual chamber cases are like around the same size. Like, I guess unless you put them next to each other, then you can really see the size difference. It's not a massive case. I feel like this gets really hot inside of a closed case. So the NZXT, the new flow, or the new flow cases, like this, you could put more fans down here for the CPU, or for the GPU rather. But you have intake here, and then exhaust through the radiator up top. Are you adding more fans to this, or is this going as is? I guess you've been testing it. What are the temperatures looking like? For the bottom, do you need extra screws? I have very similar... Let me see. What do you mean by extra screws? So we can take a look over here. Because, aha, I have a build that is somewhat relevant. Give me a second. Is this going to work? Bam! Oh, it's not on the vertical stream. So, sorry vertical people. You can't see up close because I did not set it up. But, so you have a very similar like slot open down here. I can see it in your picture where you can put the fans. The screws that this uses, which I would imagine you would have a bunch of extra ones just because even though your case didn't come with it, I would imagine you being a PC builder, you would have a bunch of extra. Like, it just takes the standard screws. And for this one, because this is a single frame, it only took 4. But yeah, these just take the normal, you know, the screws that you have to dig into the fans with, right? Unless you're talking about something else with regards to the screws. Yeah, the standard ones work. You don't need extra long ones or anything. If it's the same design, which I would think it is, because this is the NZXT H7 flow, and that's the H6 flow. And it looks pretty similar with that little... you know, opening down there that they have for the fans. Okay, let's see. What else do we got here? Oh, okay. This is for... You should... Oh, hopefully Tavian sees this. But this is the compatibility for the different... what well, let's see, GPU length. Yeah, so as you get different power supplies, your GPU length. Okay, so at worst it's 334 millimeters to get pretty much like into, to be in like the complete safe zone, and that's right here for those SFXL. Yeah, the extra kind of like long ones. Okay. Thanks for posting that. Wait, Tagium, who are you? Tagium, who are you in the chat? Okay, 10700 FK. Is that worth it for 160 bucks? Honestly, that's like 4 generations back. I mean, I gotta. It's a KF, but how much are these processors going for? So you were asking about 160. That is what they are going for on a little bit more on. Okay, but you don't need the F1. Are the 10700Ks any cheaper? As is, bunch of random crap. I feel like do you already have sweaty potatoes if you're still there? It depends. Like, part of if a used processor is worth a certain price is, do you already have that motherboard or chipset that is compatible with it? Or are you already going to be buying, or are you going to be buying another motherboard? Because if you don't have the motherboard that's already compatible with it, I would get something newer. 160 bucks, I don't know if I would lock myself with, 10th gen Intel. Now, if you already have, what motherboard series were these? How? These are the B360s and 460s, right? Z370s. Then I don't know if it would be, if you already have that, then you're either going up to an i7 or an i9, which i9s are usually never worth it, because even in the used market they hold their value, just for being, i9. So you have a Z790, probably not. Yeah, so the 400 series boards. Oh yeah, I think the 300 series boards were for the 8th and 9th gen, right? Okay, yeah. I was one series off. But yeah, I don't know. Sweaty Potato, I don't know if you're even still there, but without knowing further detail, it's hard to say if 160 for a 10700 would even be worth pursuing. Yeah, on eBay, you can get them for pretty close to that. You can get it for 160, but you gotta pay shipping. Does AliExpress have 10700s? The AliExpress special. We are. Woo! Look at these crappy AliExpress prices. You're looking at like 300. What? Well, yeah. So AliExpress is not looking like a good place to get them. So you'll be looking at local markets, hardware swap, eBay, etc. 10 and 11 gen were the last good Intel gens. Really? I thought 12th gen was fine. I would say 10th and 11th gen would be as far back as I would recommend. Like, I wouldn't recommend, and not even from an age, like, point of view, but from like a core and thread count point of view. I wouldn't recommend people go back to 8th and 9th gen when i7s only had 6 core, 12 threads. Like, and i5s were only, were they 4 core, 8 threads? But like, yeah, their core and thread counts were pretty sad prior to 10th gen. I think 10th and 11th gen, they're fine. I would still recommend for budget builds, like, 10400s, 10100s for their price. But if once you go over, like, I don't know, $700-800 or whatever for you have to build your PC, you could comfortably start getting into 12th gen. And I would recommend that because you don't want to see being on 12th gen. You are on the same socket as the 13th and 14th gen, which regardless of all the backlash Intel is getting for those, there will be a point in time where we get past all of this, and then when the used i5s start hitting when i5s start hitting the used market, they will be phenomenal value. You know, there was no concerns with the degradation of the chips, even though the microcode is now fixing the higher end chips, and you could still use your motherboard with the BIOS update to go, you know, 2 generations up if you want. Locking yourself to 10th and 11th gen, you're gonna, like, in a couple of years, I think you would regret it. Oh yeah, sorry, they weren't 4-core 8 threads. They were 6-core 6 threads. Yeah. I mean, I know cores and threads isn't everything, like IPC and clock speeds and all that stuff is also important. But it's so weird how even going back to 2017, the first gen Ryzen chips, Ryzen 5 1600s were already 6-core 12 threads. And it took Intel how long to finally like go multi-threading on the i5s? Or hyper-threading, I guess, if you want to use their terminology for it. 12700K is still the GOAT, indeed. And I still have that, and I have no plans on upgrading anytime soon. Yeah, instead of getting an like a 10th gen i7, I would look to get like a 12th gen i5 for the same price. I think it'll be better for gaming. Maybe it won't be as good because of the core and thread counts for, you know, whatever multi-core CPU workloads. But for gaming and for future proofness, yeah, I think that the 12th gen i5 are the way to go. But, uh-oh. No! Audio should not have died. Is there no audio? Wait. Are we good? I think we still should have audio. It's fine. Okay, thank you for checking in. Might just be you, Mike. RV says, my daughter is using the 1500X right now. First gen Ryzen 5. 4-core, 8 threads. It's pretty darn snappy for a kid's PC. She has no complaints. Wait, I don't think she knows what a complaint is. True. 11th gen was objectively worse than 10th gen. Lol. That's the generation that Gamers Nexus dubbed the saying waste of sand, right? I thought the waste of sand thing was because it was more expensive without being better, but when you say objectively worse, are you taking price into consideration, or are you only talking about performance-wise? Because I don't think performance-wise that holds to be true. I don't think 11th gen chips, like an 11700K, performs worse than a 10700K. It's just that it performs better only in like single digits while costing more than single digits percentage. You know what I'm saying? Like, value per dollar and just overall performance uplift was not worth the jump. But I don't think taking price out of the equation, the 11th gen equivalents were worse. My waste of sand 11900 benchmarks higher than the better 10900. It just wasn't much better. Yeah, it wasn't worse. So you can't say it was objectively worse. You gotta like say it was barely better and nowhere worth what they were going for. Computer guy says, hey Danny, just checking in to make sure you're doing okay. Yep, I am doing just great. You know, my foot's at like 50%, but you know, it's better than being at 10% or whatever it was at its worst. So yeah, I am pretty much returned to normal minus not being able to like exercise specifically on my foot. Okay, I have an NJXC H510 Flow motherboard. Is a B760 Pro RRS. Okay. What should I upgrade? And a 12400F. What's your graphics card? You can't ask what you need to upgrade and give all the specs without giving the graphics card. I mean, you got a pretty decent setup so far, it seems. I mean, you got a 12400F, which still is a pretty good CPU. Alright, we're gonna go back to looking at the used market stuff real quick, even though we gotta fly through these last two. Actually, let's take a look at this. Nope, they don't know what the actual foot problem is. Avascular necrosis was the last diagnosis, and that's what we're going with. And because I can put weight on it now, they're just saying to R&R and heal it up. But that's it. All those MRIs, all those x-rays, all that money spent, insurance deductibles, all for them to say, oh, you're starting to heal. Well, we think it's this, but we're not going to pursue it any further. And I don't want to start finding a new doctor and going through the whole process of that crap. I'm semi-walking again, so I'm not going to try to see a different doctor and deal with appointments and all that garbage. Like, as long as I'm not bedridden or couch-ridden, I'm fine. We'll just let my foot heal slowly. Okay, what's this area code? But Atran, are you here? Sound off in any of the chats if you are here, just before we even pop this open. Gotta go. See you later, Daniel. Thanks for joining the stream and hanging out. Okay, Blustery Loomer. See, you guys, I wish people use the same names for like all their social medias, because it's so hard to know who's who in chat. And there's no way I'm gonna remember that you're Atran like past this stream. But okay, Blustery Loomer, you are here as Atran. You're looking for a GPU, $300 and under. Let's see what we can find in your market. What do you have right now? Okay. I should have said give as much details as possible, because unless you don't have a GPU right now, then you've answered the question correctly. But it is hard to make a recommendation not knowing what you have at the moment. And this is in Annandale, Virginia. You can check my profile. How do I check your profile? I don't see anything in your profile. This is what it shows. Oh, here we go. Oh, to see these. Okay, but what graphics card do you have right now? $300 graphics card? Oh, Birth of Mac. Okay, give me a second. See, I should say all inquiries, just any questions you guys have, if you guys post them in the stream submissions channel, it puts you in a queue so that I would say you get higher priority. As much as I love talking to chat on streams like this where we are like helping out people in order of submission, posting here would be more helpful, because when you type in chat, stuff gets lost easily. So unless someone else is helping you out in chat, I could easily miss your things. But $300, yeah, you can buy pretty decent graphics cards. Let's see listings, local only. So I'm just gonna do a general inquiry search, not anything specific, but in the used market, did Blustery, what did you say? You have an RX 580. Oh my goodness, $300 for a graphics card. You are going to be able to find some pretty good stuff. Look at this 3080 Ti. Is Washington, D.C. really in range from where you are? Like, let's look at this. This is an amazing deal, actually. Because 3080s typically go for around 400. If you could scrounge together another $100, my goodness, the upgrade for you getting this. But yeah, here, look at this on the map. Is this near you, or is Facebook Marketplace being stupid and not following the search parameters? This is near you? Do you have another $100 you could scrounge up? How old is this listing? 12 hours ago. This is a fresh listing. Are they crashing in price? Let me take a look real quick. I don't think 3080 Ti's normally go for this cheap. Not ending soonest. Lowest price. Okay, they're gonna show me broken ones. What are people still bidding on? Oh my god. I put in 3080 Ti and you show me... I'm gonna have to look at completed listings. Give me a second. To see how much they're really selling for. Sold items. So they're selling... Here's 480. This price was crossed off. 544, 500 something. 3080 for a 30... for 360. So that's around 380. 450. This one sold September. That's a 4070 Ti. There's a bunch of... Okay. Thanks, eBay. Thanks for not showing me what my search term is. I hate you, eBay. Even though I use you all the time. Okay, let me look at what the price is going for. Apparently, we can't look at sold items because they want to show me 4070s and 4070 Ti's. My goodness, eBay, you are so annoying. Zero sellers, 3060. Oh, I hate you so much. 3080s and 3080 Ti's. Here's a 3080. They don't have 3080 Ti's from the selections, but we can just base it off of this. Like, if you wanted to get a 3080 right now, oh, 3080 Ti's 430, but you're gonna have to pay tax on it. I mean, I can look for bids. Let's look for bids real quick. Ending soonest. So this is a Founders Edition. You can't, like, with it, like this listing, right? This has 54 minutes left and is at $405 plus $30 shipping almost. So at least this card is, at the very least, this card is $430, $433. But at most, where people normally get their last minute bids in, this could easily shoot up to much more than this. Like, look at this one, 3080 Ti Founders Edition. So we know this one will likely shoot up closer to $500 based on people willing to pay almost $500 for this one. Yeah, so all of these cards, if you look at these 30... Oh, here's a 3080 with 0 bids. Here's a 3080 Ti with 1 day left. Yeah, the bid, to me, doesn't tell me anything. Unless you've got literally, like, 5 minutes left on the bid, we're not going to know what the prices are. Which is why I wanted to look at sold listings. I'm going to try sold listings again. Oh, man, eBay. Sold listings ending recently. 3080 Ti's. Yeah, sold. Here we go. Now it's working. Weird. This one went for $470 after shipping plus tax. This one went for parts only. Someone bought this parts only problematic 3080 Ti for $372. That's why I'm thinking this one is a good price. You're paying $400 and you're saving on tax. You're not going to find cheaper than this on eBay. And this is an EVGA card, so, you know, rip EVGA. Maybe this will have some more value down the line now that EVGA doesn't sell graphics cards anymore. No negotiations, they say. Cash only. I think 400 is fair. Do you have 400 to spend? Atran. I don't think you're going to be able to get a 4070 for $400. That's... They're cars and trucks? Oh, why are you doing this? I think it's suggesting it because there's nothing listed. You could get a normal 30... Okay. I swear, is OfferUp broken or something? You can get a... That's 400 sounds more like 375, even though he said no negotiating. They change their mind when they smell cash. Nah, I would be pissed. I'll say this. If I'm trying to sell something, you better negotiate. Okay, you can negotiate over chat. Do not try to negotiate with me in person. Once we decide on the price and the meetup time, and I take my time to go meet up with someone in person, and then you try to negotiate, otherwise you walk away without buying, then I'm going to be pissed. If you negotiated in the chat, then I could deny you and move on to the next person. But if you're one of those types of people who you kind of like try to trick the seller into saying like, oh yeah, I'm good with your price, then in person, try to negotiate. And if they don't agree to your negotiated price and then you just cancel out on the deal, after I set time in my day and took the time to drive to wherever we're meeting, only for the deal to fall through due to that, then I'm going to say you're a crappy buyer and you deserve to get blacklisted and deserve to stub your toe on the table and to step on Legos, because that you are wasting people's time. Negotiate in the chat, not in real life. Yeah, not before right there. Okay, yeah. No, that's something that I would legitimately get so like pissed about. I'm trying to think, has that ever happened to me? I've had people try to negotiate in person, but not like they would try to negotiate and I was like, no, like that's the price it is, and then they'll end up paying the full price. But canceling a deal because they didn't lower the price after wasting their time, that's a crappy move. What's on my ear? This is the mic. I put the mic here because whenever I get up and stuff, it comes with me. And whenever I put the mic on the shirt, it would rub against either my skin or my shirt and cause like static noise. So I just put it on here, on my glasses, where it doesn't move. You can, but trying to get in the budget. If you're looking to get in the budget, honestly, the best card you could get. Let's actually look up 6950s. So I'm thinking like this 3080, which is the PNY one. Which Accelerate card is this? I'm not familiar with this one. Huh. But under 400, 3080s, regardless of 10 or 12 gigabytes, I'm not going to make a big fuss about when you're buying like a sub $400 card that's as powerful as a 3080. And I don't think you're really going to be playing 4K. So, let me look at the RX 6900. 6900 XT. There's one of them for $1,500. How is 6950? Yeah, nope, too expensive. If these were around the same price, actually 6800 might be going for good prices. This is, dude, OfferUp keeps on changing the mileage tickers. Nope, it's not looking like we're seeing anything here. Let's see. Let's see what other 3080s are going for in this area. Here's one for 340. Oh, wow. This one did not come out earlier, but now it did. If this is real, let me take a look. Charlottesville. Is this close to you? I mean, these Dell cards are pretty, like, well regarded. This is not even close, dang. 3080 Founders Edition, Washington, D.C. This is actually... And the seller, you know, the seller has some rating. This is actually a really good price, considering it's a Founders Edition card. Because these cards are pretty rare. Not rare, but they're like... The Founders Edition NVIDIA cards just like are worth more. People like it. Over time, they're going to be more valuable, etc. No, wait, Mike, what are you talking about? You're saying 190 is the bid floor? Bid floor means nothing. It literally means nothing. Let's see how much Founders Editions are being sold for. So here's one for 372, but that's the 3080 Ti Founders Edition. But we can't go with sold listings. We gotta see what you can actually buy right now, because you can't just go buy the sold listing. So 3080 Founders Edition. $3080 Founders Edition, broken, all these broken ones. Tons of broken ones on here. Where's the good looking ones? Oh, this is sold listings. Sorry. And some of these listings, you gotta look like they're like from July and stuff like that. So, you would think the price would go down as time goes on. But if you want a Founders Edition, the cheapest one you can get is $390 or best offer. I guess you can get for a little bit cheaper. But if you wanted these OEM ones from Alienware, listing sold. Why is it showing me sold stuff? Give me a second. Let me figure this out. Buy it now, shipping, and I took off the sold marking, I thought. I did. This is a new listing and it just sold? It was sold like an hour ago. So why is it still showing up? Here's one for $350. Yeah, that $300, this would have been crazy good. What's up, Brian Switzer? My favorite NVIDIA card. What's your favorite one? The 3080? So here's the Dell one, which you could get it shipped to you or best offer. Sold from a seller that 87.5% positive. What's up with this? 87.5. USPS has no update. Okay, you don't complain if USPS lost your item. Brand new as described. See all feedback. For the most part, good. Right earphone didn't work. Seller did approve it. Okay, what is wrong with people? If this store approved your return, why are you leaving them a negative feedback? This is... Dude, that hurts their reputation. And it looks like for the most part, they have good reputation, right? I don't know. Plus, eBay's gonna protect you if you know how to, you know, benchmark, stress test your card. I don't think you're gonna... For $400, especially given that your local area looked like it was very limited, you're looking at this card, which you have 0 protection, right? If this card ends up dying in like 2 days, or I'm not sure if you even have the ability to test in person, or for like pretty much the same price after tax, you could get this lower on eBay. You could get this 3080. I feel like people value Founders Edition more 10 series and older. It seems like people value Asus ROG and EVJ more now. Definitely the Asus cards have their premium. From what I've seen, the Founders Edition like 30 series cards, I think 30 series specifically, because 20 series cards, I don't really see those that much in the used market. But the 30 series cards and then 40 series is too new to kind of say. But I mean, Atran, it seems like you don't have a ton in your surrounding area. I can't, at least that would pop up for me. Yeah, this one doesn't work out. 3080 Ti ships to you, so that's not gonna work. Yeah. Wait, did they just lower the price? No. Is that how much? Are you able to test? $400 is a lot of money to spend on a graphics card. Can you test the card in person? not trying to get people scammed out here. If you can't test, then eBay is the safest way to go. Like, when I say test, I mean portably. If you have a computer, then you can test at home. But once you get home, if someone scams you, you're done for. $6,800 or XT prices. We looked for the 6,800. Nothing popped up. Or did we not look on... Let me look on Facebook. Oh, this isn't bad. RX 6800 for $250. I don't know how close Fredericksburg is to Annandale, though. I'm not sure if A-Tran's still here, though, so we might have to move on. But yeah, you're looking at RX 6800. Oh, too far? Okay. Yeah, I mean, there's not much in your area, apparently, because that's all that was popping up. But I would say a 3080, 6800, 6800 XT would be the ballpark of what you're looking for. I mean, maybe 3080 Ti, but the 3080 Ti's you're gonna have to buy online, it looks like, and those are out of your price range by just a little bit. So 3080s is like comfortably within your budget, and you've got either the one listing that we saw on Facebook Marketplace for 380, or this one, which you could offer like 330, maybe knock 20 bucks off. Check a China e-commerce site. I mean, I don't know if 3080s are really... Like, AliExpress has some specifically good deals. 3080s, I'm not thinking is one of them. Yeah. What's going on here? Why is AliExpress just straight up breaking? Yeah, we got this for 600 bucks. What is this one? I gotta close a bunch of tabs. Give me a second. This is an RG Strix, product of Brazil. Product can't be shipped to your address, so I don't know if that would even work. Here's a 3080 for $2,000. See, like, and then when I try to sort by price, yeah, the lowest one, RTX 3080 on here, is $422, which, I mean, at that point, you would just buy from the US, from eBay. But actually, RX 6800s might be, the AMD cards might be a little bit better. Never mind. Not really. Yeah, see, US prices are better than AliExpress prices for these cards, with the exception of like the 6700 GRE. I'm just gonna look up RX 6700 and see what we can find. Yeah, 67 XT. So it has to be a 6750 to get that GRE card. The Yeston one, 300, 286. Yeah, so 6750, which is still a huge upgrade over your RX 580, right? Like, if you want to spend under 300 bucks, you're looking at this card. Either this on AliExpress, or if you can find it in your local market. But you're looking sub $300. And this is, you know, ASRock, very familiar brand in the States. But anything you get will be a huge upgrade from your RX 580. Make sure your graphics card, or not your graphics card, your power supply is big enough to handle it, though. So long as you have like a 600 watt reputable power supply, you should be good. I'm trying to think of the RTX 3080. Have I run that? I think I've run that with a 600 watt graphics power supply before with no issues. 6750 XT is like $290 brand new. Well, here, if you buy from here, I'm assuming you're going to be able to get at least a $20 off coupon, if not more. But yeah, if you want to just save the hassle, $67.50. Do these come with free games right now? You can buy it for... What is the cheapest one? It's looking like $290. Yeah. I'm seeing the cheapest. It's like right at 300. But it might be because I'm not logged into Amazon. On Newegg, we're looking like 300. Desired spec. This is what you do. And actually, this is what I would do. I'm not saying you should do it. I gotta put that disclaimer out there because I am not responsible for what you do. But if you suspect this person of scamming multiple people or are ducking you, ignoring you, first of all, make sure you take someone, if you're trying to meet up with them again, take someone with you, just in case something goes wrong. But you make a new OfferUp profile or Facebook profile, wherever it is you bought it from. You comment on one of their listings showing interest that you want to buy one of their items. You set the meet time, and then you show up to the meet and say, hey, what's up? So yeah, I don't know how that's going to end though with regards to where you're going to strong arm into them giving you a refund. They're going to be like, you're not going to follow me to my house. It could lead to an altercation, etc. So yeah, I mean, it depends on how much you got ripped off for, right? I didn't even see what item you bought that didn't work, but was it like a 1660? Any tips on a seller that's not responding? He did confirm he will exchange my card from an RX 580 to a 1660 Super, but he's not responding as of right now. Yeah, so I mean, you bought a graphics card that was like what, $100 or less? Is it worth going through the hassle of trying to meet up with them and then threatening him or whatever the heck you're gonna do to get him to give you a refund? Like, you gotta play out in your head and plan, like, how's that gonna work? Are you gonna follow him to his house to make sure he doesn't, you know, ignore you again? So just think it through, all right? Don't just act brashly. Thing is, he approved my refund exchange. What are you talking about by approve your refund exchange? You mean like he told you, oh, I'm okay with exchanging it? Because this was like a local meetup, right? This wasn't through eBay or like through Facebook, like the transaction systems on there. This was just like a normal messaging, hey, this doesn't work, can we exchange it? And he's like, oh yeah, I can do that. Like, of course a scammer is gonna approve your exchange or refund and then ignore you. Like, I don't think someone who is potentially trying to scam you saying that they're gonna give you a refund is worth anything. I went to his house and he gave to me after I tried and it didn't work. I still don't. So you know where his house is? Why don't you just stop by and knock on the door? This is just a weird, like, you have his address. He could be ignoring you for legit reasons, so just play it out. Give him, I don't know, a day or two, and then once it becomes pretty apparent that he's trying to rip you off or scam you, then show up at his door in a non-confrontational way, but bring somebody just in case, and see what's up. Okay. How about 3070s? I mean, is this near you? Is Manassas, Virginia close enough to you? Here's one for $260, which I would say is pretty standard pricing. You can get a 3070. Let's see. How much can you get it for on eBay right now in working condition? You can get an RTX 3070 for right here. Or best offer. It's a Zotac card though. From someone This is like a normal seller, right? 32 sales, 100%. This is just like, you know, me or you. A normal person who's not a power seller. You get 3070 for 230 plus. So this comes out to 245-ish and then some tax. So it comes out to like 260. Which this is 260 and you can pick it up in person. So, I mean, 3070s are going for around 250. It's just hard to pick on these freaking websites that don't give me an actual 20-mile radius. I think for around 250, a 3070 is fine. Yeah, I mean, I think that's, you know, what better are you going to get for that same price, right? Why would you not make him prove it works before buying it? There's plenty of reasons why someone might not be able to show that it works. One is because it's a hassle for normal people who don't have a test bench. You're telling me to buy this 580 that I know was working last when I upgraded my system? You want me to open up my PC and pop it back in, reinstall the drivers, show you a benchmark, and then pop it back out to put my main card that I just bought in and reinstall the drivers? Like, that's a lot of work. Like, I get it. In the perfect world, you would ensure that it is working in person, but the perfect, or the real world isn't that ideal, if that makes sense. Not everybody is a PC enthusiast with multiple systems lying around their house to easily pop it in to show it working. Not everybody is a tech content creator in the same situation, or like me, drives around with a test bench where as a buyer or a seller I can test the card. You know, I would confidently say in at least 90%, if not more, of PC hardware transactions, hardware is not tested before it is traded over and sold. So I mean, I think it's very normal to not test parts. The higher amount you spend, though, you should start considering at least getting some form of proof that it works. But when you're talking sub $100, most people don't want to go through the effort. How do you even power the test bench on the road? I use a UPS power supply. So it's basically the same thing you put in your house for when the power goes out. It's a big heavy battery. I just put in a crate and I carry it along in the trunk with me. He's told me at his door that he's willing to refund it if it didn't work, but he's just not responding. He also made me wait a 30-ish plus. I mean, some people are just not, they're not mindful of other people's time. Like, I am someone who, if I'm not early, I'm late kind of thing, right? Like, for stuff like meetups, I go early because when someone is late, you have no idea how late they're going to be. Like, if you schedule for someone, and especially if you don't check in to say, oh, I'm going to be running 5 minutes late. If I get to a meetup and someone is not there, and then they're not there within the next 5 minutes, I have no idea if they're going to be just 6 minutes late, or if they're going to be an hour late, or if they forgot about the meeting overall. So when I do my deals, I'm in communication. I'm like, all right, I'm heading out now, ETA 15 minutes. If I'm running late, hey, even if I'm going to be only 5 minutes late, you give the courtesy to the person so that they have an idea of how long they're waiting around for and not wondering if it's going to be like 30 minutes late and wasting their time. But not everyone is mindful, and some people just don't care, so it kind of sucks, but it is what it is. Yeah, so he's told you at your door. It's kind of hard without like actually being the person messaging them. Some people just aren't good at checking their messages. Some people aren't good with responding right away. So we don't know if they're trying to scam you. You just got to play it out is what it sounds like. Stang, are you still here? I don't know if we're going to be able to get to you, Stang, because we are already at 7:30 and Melissa is starving and I think we got to go get some food. But we could definitely do this next week if you're still here. If you're not here, then we'll pretend like we couldn't get to it because you left anyways. But Stang, I knew you were gonna be here, Stang. I'm here. It's all good. Okay, yeah. If we have time next week, then we'll do it next week. I don't think I have anything set on the schedule next week. So yeah, do Stangs next week. Note to self. I should have known. Stang isn't someone who actually no. I feel like Stang would usually say if they were leaving early or not. Because they're here every single week on every stream. Which I appreciate. Yo, what is up with the... Is the chat not updating on that one? Huh. It seems like it's not updating. Give me a second. Huh. Interesting. There's no point in showing the shorts chat on the screen because it is frozen in time. I would have to look into that. I don't know what's going on with it. No, this isn't a Costco bottle. This is actually an LTT bottle. Though I do like the Thermal Flask brand. Is that what the brand is? The generic Hydro Flask knockoffs? Not knockoffs, just alternatives. No, this is an LTT water bottle, but it looks just like the Costco one, which I do have somewhere in the house. We had a phase where we were just buying these insulated bottles because it's amazing how these can keep things cold or hot for so long. But yeah, this is the LTT one. I got this from Brett actually. UFD Tech Brett when we were in Canada for LTX. He had a bunch and he was like, y'all want some? And he gave some to like me, Coalition Gaming Chris, All Stocks Hardware. I think Jason was there. So yeah. I have yet to pay more than $50 for an RX 570 or 580. There's tons of sale. Yeah. I think my common price for paying for those are like 40 bucks. Yeah, I think 40 to 50 bucks is I mean, you get so much performance out of 40 or 50 bucks. It's not like the newest graphics card that can run like, you know, the newest games at high settings and stuff. But if you just want a game at 1080p, an RX 580 is one of the cheapest ways to do it. Hey, what's up, your boy MK? What up, what up? We're actually getting to the last like few minutes of stream as I end this out. So I mean the next video, I'm trying to get this video done by this weekend, but we'll see. It's gonna be the powertrain build video. So that would probably be the next video. I got a lot of YouTube Shorts content from going to PAX. There was actually one that would drop today before the stream. Hopefully that helped people find the vertical streams at least. But yeah. And then after that, I mean, there's Logan's or MGLR's PC troubleshooting video. There's random builds with just parts that I have on hand to try out new cases. I have a lot of stuff that is in the pipeline, but first time tapping in, but I've been watching all your shorts and love the content. Awesome. Thanks for joining in on the streams. I see that you're on the vertical stream. Hopefully that the format looks good, even though the chat is not updating for whatever reason. Let me see if I can actually fix this. Here. Let me see if I can just copy this over to here and see if this fixes the problem. Boom. Okay, so I put both of those there. And then we go back to putting this and maybe it updates it, hopefully. Oh, it is. Okay, so now it works. Even though it has that annoying thing. But now the chat is working where it should be. I paid 50. Oh, you're Canadian? 50 cap for mine with 120mm fans, which if you ask me is a good deal. 50 Canadian. What is that to USD? That's 37 USD, and it came with 3 fans. That's a good price. Except is not working. This is the weird thing to me though. Why would the person offer up a 1660 Super, which is much more expensive? It is worth double, if not maybe even closer to triple the price of the RX 580. Like in the US, a 1660 Super will go for anywhere from 80 to 100 bucks. So they're giving you a much better card because they feel bad? Like, I don't understand. If I was that guy, I would say, would you like to pay more to get a 1660 Super? Otherwise, I'll just refund you the 37 bucks. But giving away a 1660 Super, I don't know. Let us know how that works out. Please, hopefully by next week, you have solved this issue and you could tune in with the story of that. Is that good for gaming today? The 1660 Super? It's like a GTX 1070 Ti levels of performance. Is it good for gaming today? I mean, you're talking about a $100 to sub-$100 graphics card. It can play all the esports just fine at 1080p. It can play some of the newer titles at lower to medium settings at 1080p. I mean, it's really a card that you're looking for like sub $400 PC builds, I would say. Once you start reaching like $500, $600 price range, you really should be looking like RX 6600 type, graphics cards, RTX 3060s. But yeah, for cheaper budget builds, 1660 Super, 1070 Ti, those are just fine. Looks pretty good, no complaints. Sweet. So yeah. Spicy Taco, what's up? We are about to end stream. We've been going for over 2.5 hours, almost 2 hours 40 minutes actually. So, do you think I build a steel of a PC? I don't know what that means. Like steel, like a case made of steel. Build a steel of a PC, or do you mean like steel of a deal type thing? What are the actual specs of your mobile test bed PC with the handle besides the Pentium with 16 gigs of RAM? Pentium, 16 gigs of RAM, like 512 SSD, because honestly, it could be a 256 SSD. All I need it to hold is like the OS, maybe Cinebench and superposition, maybe OCCT, whatever test hardware. I don't know what the motherboard is. It is like a B series board from 10th gen, I believe. Or did I replace that out to be either 10th gen or 12th gen? It's like the cheapest parts that I could scrounge together in my studio. And what else? The power supply is like 600 or 650 watts, I believe. Do I have it? Let me see. Where is that thing? It's too far. It is way back there under stuff. But yeah, there's nothing impressive about it. It is a very boring system meant to test graphics cards. And if I ever need to test CPUs, what I would do is remove the motherboard and put in like an AM4 or AM5, whatever, to test the CPU. But I mostly test graphics cards. Those are like the big ticket items worth testing. I would say CPUs and RAM and SSDs are usually durable enough where I'm not too concerned. Is the RX 6600 for 80 bucks a good deal? That is an amazing deal. That is a really good deal. That deal sounds too good to be true, actually. Where are you seeing this 6600 for 80 bucks? If it is in your local area, I hope it's a legit deal and not a scam, because if we were to look around me, for example, RX 6600, there aren't even any, because no, let's see, are there any 6600 XT for 180, which isn't like a per se bad deal, but Red Devil 180, probably talk it down a little bit. I'm not seeing any 6600s though. How about 6650? Or 6600 XT? But no, 80 bucks for a non-XT 6600 is really good. How about 6650 XT? Yeah, like no deals there. Yeah. Oh, you already bought it? Very good deal. Guess you needed money? Yeah. I mean, they should be going for, what was the last we were checking, like 140? If I wanted to buy one right now, parts only 150. I could have sworn they went up in price. But yeah, I mean, you essentially got it for close to half off of what you could have bought them on for on eBay. Yeah, here's what the no 5500 XT. Here's a 6600 for 140 best offer, plus so 155 or best offer. So it might go down a bit if you can get it lower. But yeah, they are going for around 140, 150 price range. My specs are an i5 8400 1650 overclock edition. 16 gigs of DDR4, 700 watt power, 750 watt power supply, 480 SSD, deep cools. Okay. Oh, did you bought this full system for $236? Yeah, that's a steal. I mean, the CPU is getting a little old. But I mean, again, this is a fully working system, right? It has all the core components to play video game, play video games for $236, and it's not old as balls. It's a 1650, which is not the most powerful, but it's also not like a 12-year-old graphics card, and you know, it's not like a. When I think of sub $250 builds, I'm thinking of like second or fourth gen Intel parts. Not even on DDR4, etc. Yeah, for 236, and you got a system that's on a DDR4 platform at least, and graphics cards that aren't balls old. Yeah, and you have like SSD in it, 750 watt power supply. I don't know what it is, but you know, it's plenty for your system. That's a really good price. Yeah, you can replace the, like Mike Razone says, replace the CPU with the 8700 when the time comes. And that's about as far as you go with that, you know, 8th gen platform, but why are you buying a RX 584 when you have a 1650? I was under the impression that they were pretty much on par with each other. If anything, with the Nvidia card on Fortnite, it would be better. Oh yeah, you're right. You can go 9700, 9th gen. Yeah, 8th and 9th share the same. That's LGA 1200, right? $1151? No, 1200 was 10th gen. Yeah, sorry, 1151. Yeah. I'm off one socket. Yeah, 10th and 11th gen were 1200, then 1700 is 12 plus. 1151, yeah. That is it. And I don't know, would you really want to throw a 9900K? How much are those worth? Last thing before we go. The i9 stuff, like for the price, why not just get something on a newer platform by that point? You don't have to deal with potential power draw issues. You don't have to deal with old platform, and you get better IPC, just with newer stuff. Buy now, lowest price. Yeah, so lowest. So you're the processors. You're looking at $150, which I mean, with $150, you're looking at 12th gen i5s at that point. I know you already have the motherboard, so it's not like the same comparison, but still. I would rather just sell off the system and just buy into a new platform by that point instead of slotting in an i9. You don't even know what motherboard they have. What was it? The motherboard wasn't even listed. So yeah, we don't even know what motherboard they have. Yeah, 12600K is only like 140 bucks. It's supposed to be a 1660 Super with the fans for 60. It's OEM. You rushed and used your dad's card. When you say your dad's card, you mean like your dad's credit card or your graphics card? The story of the RX 5 is too long. Okay. Maybe if you type out the full story in the stream submissions, I can read it later. But I would avoid the 9700 1HT processor for enterprise. Not the 1HT 9700. But the way better power from the 12700K is leaps above the 9900K. Yeah. Alright, I think that's gotta be it for stream. We have almost gone on for 3 hours. 2 hours and 45 minutes. So man, how do we streamline this better? The issue is that people don't give enough details when I ask. And also, it doesn't help that these websites or apps they aren't true to the radius search. So like, I don't know every state and city and like what's nearby. So like, we find stuff and it ends up being that none of the listings are even nearby for people to pick up. So maybe not the local deals thing we do every once in a while, but we could do online deal hunting, which makes it way easier because you just buy stuff shipped to your door and the prices are what they are and distance doesn't matter. So yeah, maybe we do more so of like the help with online deal hunts, and then every once in a while we could throw in the local stuff. But after today, I don't know, man. The search filters and stuff like that Facebook is known as one of the best places that people like. They don't like OfferUp, they don't like Craigslist. Facebook is kind of like taking the top spot for picking up local used deals, and even their UI sucks and their filtration system sucks. But yeah, everybody have a great rest of the week. Have a great weekend coming up. And I will see you in any content that drops before then or in next week's stream at the same time as always, 5 p.m. Pacific time. But yeah, everybody have a good one, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.